Thank you for joining me, Bleak Falls Barrow, level 1. Playing as a Khajiit with the 3 perk points going into one-handed, evasion, and archery. Pick Khajiit for 2 main reasons, one being the speed boost, and 2 being the strong stomach ability, which comes in really handy. So let's loot this guy. He's got better armor than I do. Okay, so these 2 bandits, there's a pretty common theme where one of them is a mage and just kind of nukes us from afar. So this is the strategy that I've come up with, is just wait for them to turn away and sprint past. And yeah, heard the ice bolt behind me. Definitely a good decision. So nothing much of interest in this early hallway. The only thing to be aware of is it is possible to aggro the guy that we would rather have walk into a trap. So we've got to stop a little bit before that. So we come around the corner, we walk up to these rocks. That's his cue to go and pull the lever and hopefully give us some good loot. The only thing I've done so far is whatever I could find in Helgen, then Ember Shard Mine, and whatever I could gather up between Riverwood and Whiterun. So this guy could have something pretty useful to us, and well, some arrows, some armor, not particularly great. So most of the stuff in here we just don't really care about. Can't open that chest anyway, because even though the Khajiit has some ability at lockpicking, it's only good for novice locks, and I think that one is apprentice. And it's odd because sometimes I see versions of this where there are or there aren't these little spiders, and I have no idea what determines whether they're there or not. But as long as you don't let yourself get surrounded, they're not all that threatening. And alright, so here's the reason that we really want to play something with strong stomach, is the Bestial Stew, which gives us constant stamina regeneration. And of course, the biggest way of getting killed in Requiem being to run out of stamina. It's one of the biggest problems that early game characters have, is that their stamina pool is very low. It makes it hard to fight anything. And this is honestly kind of boring, but I don't feel too bad about using the cheesy quick load on the crossbow because, well, we're level 1, we've got to take whatever edge we can get. And this is one case where the armor piercing on the crossbow actually does make this much faster compared to a regular bow. And one of the big reasons to use a crossbow as opposed to a normal bow, especially in the early game, is the stamina drain from drawing the bow is huge. And once your stamina is low, your damage goes down. It makes the whole process take even longer. So this frostbite spider, I think, has 3 different attacks. There's the spit, where it kind of leans back for a second and then lobs some nastiness at you. There's kind of a leg slash where it can get close, and then there's like a leap or a lunge, which will just one-shot you dead. So very important to not get hit by the spit. That stuff lasts like 2 minutes, drains your stamina, and makes it really hard to actually progress. I do have a potion of cleansing that I picked up in Helgen. Oh, and there's the kill shot. But I'd rather not use that potion of cleansing if I don't have to. And, you know, ideally either use it for some bigger purpose or just sell it. Alright, Arvel. The last time I did this, I forgot to pick up the golden claw after I killed him. Kind of embarrassing after going all the way to the puzzle door and just not being able to do anything. So let's not do that. Alright, I'm just going to fix my inventory real quick. We don't need this. We do need the iron bolt. We don't need the iron war axe. And basically there's nothing in here that we care about killing, so I'm just going to run past all these Draugr. There's no real benefit to us because they don't drop anything useful, and it's not like EXP gain is really something I care about since we're not going to level up anyway. So it would certainly be possible to kill all of these, but it would take a long time and there's no real benefit or reward for doing so. We'll have plenty of Draugr to kill later on. Sometimes that guy shouts. Let's get out of there. Okay, so the 2 Draugr in this section we do actually have to kill are these last 2, because I have it on the Requiem setting where enemies can follow you through from one zone to another, which is kind of a nasty surprise when it happens. And here we get to see how awesome the torch is against Draugr. They have very telegraphed attacks, so as long as there's not very many of them, we can stun them out of it. It's kind of like a Dark Souls parry, where if you get your timing down on the attacks, you can not only prevent them from doing any damage to you, not even having to block their attack, but also getting a nice burn damage over time on them. And that was an example of being a little bit too greedy with the bash, trying to do it proactively, and then that forced us into a situation where we were blocking and taking damage instead of just getting free hits. And again, being a little bit greedy, taking that second swing. Worth remembering that unlike humans, Draugrs are very, very hard to stun. And so it's not really a good idea to count on stunning them and going for extra hits when often their swing back can just straight up kill you. Okay, so that was kind of the easy part of the dungeon, because pretty low density of monsters that we needed to kill. This part is quite a bit harder, and there's really no fast way about going through the throne room. I'm sure people who are familiar with Requiem will already know the infamous final room. So we'll be making use of whatever we can in the environment to hopefully make that a little bit easier. Like those traps. Ooh, that arrow was a little too close to for comfort. That's a big one. So I think I'm going to lure these guys back through the doorway, just have to get my timing right. And hopefully they don't make it through as well. Excellent. Maybe this guy has something good. Nope. From the headgear, it looked like he might be a high level one, but he still is carrying pure junk. So, onwards and upwards. Good thing is we've managed to keep all of the oil traps still around, which maybe they'll come in handy. They're not terribly reliable, and they don't do all that much damage to Draugr, but anything that makes this process a little bit faster is a good deal. So this is the marathon section, where the main challenge is to not get impatient and not get greedy about taking extra hits unnecessarily, because we really only want to lure down 1 or 2 at a time, because that makes them a lot more manageable. Either that, or we lure all of them down and just try and drag them into the traps, one or the other. So lots of archers, we really don't want to go up there, because they will kill us dead in a hurry. Good news is, if the archers put down their bows and come out, they're not particularly strong, but strong enough to put some serious hurt on if we're being sloppy about our spacing. And I can see another one afterwards. I'm going to be a little greedy there and take a hit just so I can get that one out of the way, and I need to make a little space here so that I can isolate this one that's coming up. Also, my stamina is low, so I'm limited in my ability to bash them down. So let's drag him around the corner. Yeah, the torch is so much better than a shield for stuff like this, because we really don't want to be taking stamina hits and not doing damage. Well, or we could just be taking damage and taking damage by being sloppy like that. But yeah, using your shield to block and expend stamina when you're not damaging the enemy can just make this fight, well, when there's a lot of them, you just run out of stamina before they run out of hit points. So if we can set them on fire, that actually does a pretty significant amount of damage against Draugr. And it's important to not get greedy and take too many hits, because their stun does not last very long. Alright, another one down. And we still have our oil traps if we manage to pull down a big crowd. I'm just going to take a second and pause and let my stamina regen. This is the bestial stew doing its work, and oh yeah, we got some time left. Worth noting is that if you wait for an hour, it takes 6 minutes off the duration of your healing poultice or food item. So there is a cost to being skimpy on potions, which is your other consumables get used up more quickly. So our bow is pretty useless here, except for the purpose of hopefully drawing 1 or 2 guys at a time, and we'll just keep doing this until we get them. Alright, so there's a guy who shouts, means he's high level. It's probably going to take a while to kill. Hopefully he doesn't bring a crowd with him. I'm just going to stay down here so I don't get domed in the face with an arrow. And the one-handers are actually, I think, more dangerous than the two-hand Draugr, just because their moves are a little less predictable. And oh, and a miss. Oh, just walked right into that one. That's not the best way to do it. Definitely not the best way to do it. That was supposed to be a bash, but either I misclicked or the game didn't register well for me. So I need to make a little distance so I can get a safer save up, because having myself right in his face could just get me one shot if I have to reload again. So I'm going to save again over here, just because while I would love to have a perfect run through on this, there is some element of the Super Meat Boy about this, because, well, we need to have a lot of correct actions in a row, and only 1 or 2 mistakes is enough to kill us. Just keeping an eye on our stamina bar here, and he's being pretty predictably aggressive. And another miss. Oh, wasn't in good position there, so I couldn't back out of it. It's going to cost us a potion, but we're still in pretty good shape against this guy. Still haven't had to use our fire traps yet, and I don't know if at what point we'll actually find that necessary. So I'm just kind of chilling here, standing still so my stamina can come back more quickly. I want to be near a pillar in case he shouts. Oh, and we were able to stagger him out of the shout. Excellent. You might think that a higher level Draugr would have better items, and you might think wrong. It's all pretty useless to us. So again, I've just got to pause for a second, because going up there with low stamina, poor decision. It would be nice at this point if I had some kind of a spell, like if I had bought fire sparks or something, just so I could use my magic for something. That's something that's going to be a priority after I get through this dungeon, because even though Khajiit not such great spellcasters, but I've still got enough mana that it would be nice to add a little extra damage that way. So looks like that's an archer. This maybe bringing some buddies. Alright, that's how we want them all to go. So, yep, gonna continue using our relatively useless bow and just, look at that painful stamina drain. Able to clear out of the way of that. Just don't want to take any unnecessary damage, even though that isn't especially dangerous. Alright, so we've got 3 of them coming up. I think this is where I want to use a trap. Let's see if I can set them on fire with the jugs. And if we were really desperate, we could just drag them all down to the swinging traps, but that's exceptionally cheesy, and also very slow. It takes forever. It's not very much fun. This way is definitely more dangerous. Like if I was foolish enough to do a dead is dead level 1, then maybe that's the sort of safety play I'd be making. But we're not really at a spot where that's necessary. I think we want to set these off. Play ring around the pole. Okay, we might have to go to the... trapdoor. Oh, and he's a clever one, he got through. And as expected, he is carrying junk. Alright, another wave down. And that's why we quick save. Okay. And yeah, playing Requiem, at least for me, you just kind of have to laugh off some of the deaths that you take because it's going to happen. And trying to do a perfect run through on this, a deathless run, well, it certainly is, it's possible. If I was willing to put in a much larger chunk of time on this, I certainly could. But that's like, do I want to spend a week doing Bleak Falls Barrow, or do I want to find some other painfully difficult content to try and do at level 1? Because, yeah, I hope this series turns into something more than just... Whoop, that was a little greedy, but I got away with it. I thought he was about to swing. Anyway, I hope that I can find some more content besides just this as I advance this character. I do have some plans about how I can make this level 1 run more viable, like the items I want to get, and some of the quests to get those should be pretty interesting. More so, hopefully, than killing Draugr number 17, or whatever this is. And still nothing. It would be nice if I could find an enchanted sword or something like that on one of these guys, but maybe it's just not going to happen until I get to the guy at the very end. Alright, so we're getting closer to the home stretch here. We can see the throne. Let's draw another couple guys out. Yeah, he's going to go for the bow. Usually they're kind of impatient and don't stay with the bow for too long, which would be nice, because, yeah, that's just like lottery time whether I get killed or not by that. Alright, so 2 of them makes this a little bit more difficult. Let's make a little space. Because, yeah, when they attack kind of like... Well, when they attack at the same time, it's not quite as bad. But it does mean that I'm splitting damage between 2 of them instead of focusing 1 down. Alright, so that was a little bit greedy, but I got away with it because I brought up the block right after bashing. And I'm still doing okay on stamina, which is good. That's definitely me getting lucky on that one. Oh, and greedy. Oh, gotta find a better spot for a save. That's not where I want to be. Alright, let's save here. That seems a little better. Yeah, that's one way to really ruin yourself, is to make yourself a quick save and have it end up being a spot where you get instantly KO'd. Oh, he's got back to the bow. Okay, interesting. I'd really prefer that you didn't do that. Let's get back around the corner. Getting really familiar with this little section of It's pretty favorable to us. And that's a case of mistiming the bash a little bit. Alright, my stamina's low. I gotta back out for a second, recover, and a potion. The unfortunate thing about this quest, well, hopefully I'll find something good at the end, but I'm going to be really depleted on potions. I don't have any alchemy, so I'm going to need to find some way to revive my stock, because even being as conservative as possible with potion usage, there's only so much you can do. Alright, another 2 down. And this really is the exercise in patience part of it, because each individual Draugr is not especially difficult, but trying to pull them down in manageable clumps, so I don't have to retreat all the way back to the swinging traps. Amazingly enough, have not gotten killed by an arrow yet. So fingers crossed, can continue that streak. Alright, you, come here. Well, maybe the rest of you too. That would be kind of nice, actually. Maybe we can speed up this process a little bit. Close call there. Alright, so I can see the one guy with the bow there, and the others do not seem to have followed him. Maybe I can just rush up and get him with the sword. Oop. Mistimed my bash a little bit there. Kind of see like the thought crossing his mind to take a swing at me, and yep, right there. Was able to interrupt it before the attack started. Yeah, it is very much like Dark Souls, where there's kind of a sweet spot where you can get them right before the attack animation starts, and you can get them during it, but if you get it at the end, you're getting hit. Another nice aim there, pal. Close one. You can see another 3 up there after him. Alright, that'll cue him to come into melee range where I want him. And Torch is actually surprisingly effective at blocking. And that was a too late bash. And getting a little low on potions here. I guess worst case scenario, I can start using more healing poultices and waiting, but then I've only got 1 bestial stew left. And while the ingredients for that are easy to get, so it's not like it's expensive, Oh no, is that a frost dude? Alright, let's see, what tools do I have available to better deal with him? And that's an example of a bad save. Alright, do I have any sort of resistance? No. Alright, I'm going to put that in my right hand. Katana in... yeah. Alright, so this is where we say thanks to ourselves for making a better save, because when I originally made that save, it appeared like I was in a safe spot. For whatever reason, it seems like enemies can kind of move. Or like, I guess during the save load-in time, the enemies are moving. Okay. Well, we lost maybe 3 minutes of progress. Not that big of a deal. That was kind of a greedy bash, but he didn't punish me. Oh, that's a new one. Whacked me with the back of his axe. All right. Yeah, I gotta figure out a plan for the frost guy, because I really can't get close to him because he's just gonna kill my stamina and then I die. So how do I handle him? Maybe I just have to draw him back into the traps. Just run like hell and hope that he can't get any hits on me and stop me from running away. It would have been nice if I had had the foresight to get like a resist frost potion, but I didn't. Well, actually, is there a resist frost potion in this area? Maybe there is. Oh, there is. Okay. Well, that's actually pretty helpful. I had some memory of there being a potion there. Alright, how strong is it? Is it going to be good enough? 30%? I feel like that's not going to be good enough, but maybe I can just knock this guy down before he fully drains all my stamina. And if I can get him alone, that's a good thing too. Alright, let's make my save like way back here, because I'm unsure about how effective this strategy is going to be. And maybe we just have to drag him back to the traps. Alright, how many are we getting? How many is it going to be? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 6 Draugr left? Alright, we're getting the frost guy again. Let's give him a little encouragement. Come on. If I get a lot of them, I'm just gonna drag them back to the traps. But if I get reasonable numbers, I'll just keep taking them out one-on-one. And the Draugr AI, it's like once you get within a certain range, they put away the bow. The problem is that there's a decent chance they just kill you while you're attempting to get close. And maybe it's just my imagination, but it seems like Draugr have worse aim than bandits, because bandits are just really deadly with bows. and I spoke too soon. Alright, chalk up one One bow death. And maybe I just want to try and pull a mob of these guys and just drag them into the traps, because this is taking a really long time. Alright, I'm going to try a slightly more aggressive strategy. Okay, so this is favorable. 2 is a manageable number. These ones seem to have pretty high HP. Yeah, I'm speedy. Fast Draugr. Alright. These ones are going into the blades. Alright, well, if it's gonna be one-on-one. Oh, you cheater. One guy in the back with the bow while the other one fights, that's not very fair. And am I really in a spot where I just need to wait for this guy to run out of ammo? It seems that way. Yep. Alright. I'd rather not do the trap cheese too much, but I am running out of potions. And there is that guy with the frost spell, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take care of any other way. Just look at all these Draugr. But we're in the home stretch now. We're almost there. And I can see 2 more, but I don't see the frost guy. So there's got to be another batch of them somewhere. Alright, I'm going to back up a little bit and make myself a safe saving area. Alright. I was gonna say I've really got the timing down on this until I suddenly don't. Alright, let's take a second to recharge. Still got regen going. So how many are left? 1 over there, 2, 3. Another archer. I want to make a little distance here. Alright. Alright, I think this is another safe spot to save. I really don't want to lose progress when we're so close. That guy doesn't seem to be doing very well over there. He's just kind of wandering around. And where is our frost guy? Because he's one of the big barriers. And I have some question about ability to finish the that was a little dangerous, but to finish the actual boss guy off, but I think we'll be fine on that because we get to go a bunch of free hits on him while he's getting up. I guess we'll see. As you can tell, I am anxious to be done with this very long process. Alright, that was probably not a good spot for a save. Let's back up a little bit. Alright. Alright, let's try our potion. Let's see if it works. And it's not quite strong enough. Okay. Seems like we're gonna have to go to plan B on this guy. Oh my god, that is just deadly. Alright, good thing is I saved some of my very strongest potions. Are still available. Hopefully I don't need them for the final guy, but this one is just too much for me right now. He is just absolutely a jerk. Is he coming? Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near that guy. That is just way too dangerous. He just kills me much too quickly. Okay, we had a game crash, but we're back in it. So first thing to do is make sure that there's no one sneaking around waiting to ambush me during this final fight. Like you. Alright. And I thought there was an extra chest around here somewhere, but now I can't remember where. Oh well. Let's just do it. Try and get some free hits in. And the disarm shout is maybe the most annoying thing in the entire world, but my weapon didn't go too far, so that's not bad. And now we're just aiming to not get hit by that cold enchanted sword. Yeah, not get hit by the cold enchanted sword. And alright, I've still got a couple of potions left. This should be doable. Yikes. Yeah, playing the pick up and find your weapon game, not my favorite. I'm just going to make a little distance here. Back off a little so I can make a save game. Just in case everything goes wrong, I don't want to be like right in his face when I reload. Okay. Let's do this. Ouch. That stings. Maybe I don't want to go for parries so much. That really should have hit me, but it didn't. And yeah, that's why we make our save game. I think my strategy is fine. I can definitely take him down this way. It's just not a lot of margin for error. And then stuff like that can happen. Give me back my sword. Now just to not get greedy. Oh, we're out of stamina. Gotta back off a little bit. This guy is just relentless. Okay, and I don't have any sort of stamina potion. Need a distraction is what I need. While I back up a little bit and recharge. I do still have... Oh, well that would explain why I don't have any stamina. Is all of my stuff wore off when... I guess when my game crashed. Okay. Well, there's no getting that back now. That's going to make the fight a lot harder, but I've almost got him dead. Alright. Good timing. We get our honed Ancient Nord Sword of Frost, which should be really good against normal enemies. How does it compare to our Silver Katana? Yeah. That'll be a nice upgrade. So, let's just go and see what loot we found. And let's get something really good. Well, that's alright. So, thank you for watching. That is the end of Bleak Falls Barrow at level 1.